I want to talk to you about my favorite thing about being an INFJ, and hopefully it will inspire you to know what your favorite thing is and to appreciate being an INFJ, because still to this day our community is based on the fact that we are outcast, that there's something wrong with us, that we always should put ourselves first but we don't, and we treat ourselves badly. All the memes are based on that, on all of this aspect of, yeah, I'm hurting myself, this is not healthy for me, but that's just how I am, and let's make a joke out of it, because at least then we can connect, which is a great thing. Don't get me wrong, I love the fact that we have this community and that we can connect. And now the next step is to start appreciating ourselves for who we are and understand that we are still formable. It doesn't mean that you have to pretend that you're somebody else. You actually start finding yourself and you get excited over and over again. And that's actually one of my favorite things I'm going to talk to you about today, how I got to this point, because it took a lot of pain, it took a lot of effort mentally, and it's the best thing that ever happened in my life. And I can't be happier that I'm an INFJ and that I experienced what I experienced, and that now today I can live the life I live. Before we get started, remember to download the free poster on the 5 pillars to an INFJ epic life. And if you want my personal help with this, then work with me one-on-one or join the INFJ bootcamp waiting list. All the information is in the description. When I was younger, I didn't really know about INFJs and MBTI, but if I would have known that, my favorite thing would have been those things that you read everywhere. People consider me as mysterious. I can make people be really attracted to me at some point because I get to look into their soul. I get to help them on a deep level. We get to create really deep connections. It touches people's cores. Those were the things I defined myself by. And I wasn't recognizing that I was romanticizing all of it, that I was romanticizing the pain that came with it, because every single time those things led to me getting off course of who I am. We have experienced this more than once. This isn't just me. This is an INFJ thing, that we allow our emotions to get the better of us and to catapult us into a field we never thought was possible, because we had connected to that person and that person had become our whole world. And with time, we recognize, no, we have to change something, because yes, we get to a place where we feel extremely much, but it's a place that we're not accustomed to. We have to understand is we're not INFPs. INFPs can handle a lot more emotion when it comes to this. At some point, it's really too much for us, and we have to understand, okay, that's just as much as I can take. And that's actually my favorite thing of being an INFJ, that I understood it, that I was at a crossroad in my life where I had to understand it's now or never. I have to give up this deep emotionality that I could only have when I connect with people on such a deep level. But the price that I was paying for that was the fact that I was neglecting myself, that I was forgetting what I wanted, that I was forgetting where I wanted to go, because no matter how deep I felt, it always felt like something is missing. I'm not moving forward. My life isn't going into the direction that I want. And so many INFJs feel like this. And I'm here to tell you, this doesn't have to be your destiny. I used to be a completely different person. I was in the banking world. I was working there for years. You know, I had all the benefits. I was a diamond member at Hilton Hotels. I was a frequent flyer. I was being driven to work every day and back. Like, I've had all of this and it looked great on paper, and I felt miserable because I wasn't in a world where I wanted to be. And it was all connected. I was, because of that, choosing people as an escape. And the fact that I got to a point where it was so painful for me to recognize that I have to change, I have to give up this dependency to another person, and to the fact that I was hoping that they would be my rescue, that was the hardest thing I had to go through in my life, and it was also the most rewarding. Because through that experience, I understood I can create that INFJ epic life that no person could have ever done for me. There's no way, no matter who you meet in your life, they can never give you what you need, because the only person who knows what you need is you. That is the biggest gift you have, who you are and what you bring out into the world. And that means that you have to make a choice at some point. Am I going to continue the road of suffering? Am I going to continue the road where I repeat my patterns over and over again? Or have I suffered enough where I say, I know the price I have to pay is really big, giving up this deep emotionality, these deep connections, because trust me, you will lose that. that. If you focus on yourself, what does that mean? It means you have to stop focusing so much on other people. You will have to take your power back into the life you want to create. You're the director of your movie. You're the creator of your life. And I can tell you, if I can do this, you can do this. And that is my favorite thing about being an INFJ, that I was able to go through such a trauma, such hardship, and I came out on the other side because I took it on. We as INFJs are fighters. We are mentally strong like no one else. This is our capacity. We have to take that and make something out of it. If you feel like I have a potential, I know that there is something I could do, then you can do this. It wouldn't be in your mind if it weren't possible. And it's not a matter of, okay, I'm going to do that and then maybe I also have luck and I get successful. It's not about that. It's about saying, this is what I'm choosing for my life. I'm choosing my life. I'm not just staying on the roller coaster, making other people decide for my life, saying, well, this is just how life is and I just have to live with it. And I'm just looking for that one person or that one friend or whoever is around me that makes this life sort of acceptable. You deserve more and you can do more. This isn't an easy thing. It's a hard thing, but guess what? We can do hard things and it's worth it, and you will never ever regret this in your life. Being an INFJ, this journey has been the most rewarding thing I've done in my life, and I have also become a mother. So I can tell you, I love being a mother, I love my family, I love all of that, but it wouldn't be complete if I didn't do the work I did on myself. Doesn't matter where you are in your life, how old you are, what you've experienced, what your background is, you have the capacity to bring your insights out, your gifts. You can put them out into the world. You can start connecting through your authentic self, because we INFJs can. There's, yes, judgment you have to face, and overcoming that, understanding that you can teach your mind not to be aware of what other people are saying, neither good nor bad, and to focus on leaning into becoming the person that you want to be. That is a strength of ours, and that is my favorite thing about being an INFJ, because only because of that strength I was able to create that life that I'm living now. And this strength was the thing I disliked most about me. It was the thing that I was most ashamed of. And that's something that happens very often, isn't it? The thing that we're most ashamed of is actually our biggest asset. We as INFJs are scared of that strength, because once you bring the strength out, it looks like you won't need anybody. And if you don't need anybody, why would anybody give something to you? Why would anybody want to be around you if you focus your attention on you and not on them? You know, before this transformation, I was basing my self-worth on what I could do, mainly for others. And now I base my self-worth on who I am and what kind of life I'm creating for me and then for the world. I allow others into my world. I'm not adapting myself in order to fit into other people's worlds. And that is an incredible gift only you can give to yourself. Of course, you can get much help. You know, that's why I'm such a fan of things like the boot camp, or working with a coach, or, you know, having just a buddy that you talk to and you make sure that you encourage each other. Because yes, it can be a hard road, particularly if you take it on your own, but it's always a path worth taking. No matter what happens in my life, I know what I was able to achieve. And it has absolutely nothing to do with if people think I did something great or not, or what kind of people have an opinion about me. It's that path to myself. It's the fact that my life was and is important enough for me to take those uncomfortable steps into a future that is under my control. There are a lot of things that we cannot control, but in the end, you're still the director of it. You decide what you do every day. You decide what your habits are. You decide the people you surround yourself with, and you decide how you want to show up. Being an INFJ is an incredible strength. Fall in love with that strength and create the life you always dreamed of. Your version of your INFJ epic life. Remember, if you want some more help with this, download the free poster, join the Epic Life Bootcamp waiting list, or work with me one-on-one, or you can do all of them, all the information you find below. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then watch the video on the undeniable superpower of the INFJ.